You're doing a benefit tomorrow at Caroline's.
Caroline's, yeah.
For
New York.
For PlayStation 3? That's crazy.
It's my daughter's school, public school 3.
What the hell is wrong with
You're giving back.
What's wrong with your kid's school?
All the money's going away.
Really?
Yeah. No, the city's cutting all the budgets.
Oh, that's true.
Wow, that's a nice thing of you.
Well, it's my kid's school.
All right, it's a little selfish.
If I had no child in the school, I would throw rocks at it.
Yeah.
Just to be mean because it's funny. I couldn't care less about someone else's stupid, ugly child and his education.
See their awful drawings knocked out of the window?
Yeah, exactly. No, and I've earmarked the money for just my daughter's care. No other child is allowed to access a penny of it.
She has a brand new computer. They're eating dust mites.
Yeah, exactly. She's being taught by a Harvard professor, just one-on-one in the classroom.
Hey, do you go to, like, your daughter's stuff at school, like recitals and...
Well, it's not, you don't go to enjoy the show. I mean, it's really narcissistic, stupid parents that shouldn't have had kids.
Yeah.
That hope their kids are good at something.
Good.
That's not why you go. You don't go because, like, oh, my kid has maybe gifted at singing. No, your kid stinks.
Welcome.
But you're making your kid feel good by going. That's why you go.
Yeah, that's why you go, so they could look out and go, where?
If it's not your kid, you shouldn't bring other grown-ups and make them go because it's a support thing. It's not. No. It's not for the. But I go with my daughter on trips with the school.
Oh, the field trip.
Oh, okay.
On field trips, I'll chaperone, and I go sometimes, and I volunteer for lunch recess, because that's a mess. There's nobody there doing it.
Right.
So the kids don't get to. They get 10 minutes to eat and 20 minutes to play, and that's it. They're back.
Every day.
It's too crowded.
Back into their cells.
Yeah, it really is like a prison cafeteria. But I went on a trip once to the Botanical Gardens in the Bronx with my kids.
Boar Fest.
Yeah.
Holy plants.
Exactly.
Holy plants.
That's going to hold a bunch of first graders' attention.
Yeah.
But so we go up there, and we're on a school bus. And it kind of gave me an insight into how the system works, because the school bus, I think of it as like it's the school's bus company.
Uh-huh.
These people drive school buses for the school. It's just a bus that the teacher called in, a yellow bus driven by some idiot. I mean, it's like, so we get on the bus and the guy turns to me. I'm the first parent behind him, and he goes, do you know how to get there? I'm like,
what?
Yeah, he asked me, do you know how to get there? I'm like, no. And he goes, can you find out how to get there? So we're in the West Village.
I never remember stuff like this when I was.
Yeah, so I call up on my phone. I say, just go to the Bronx. We're going to the Bronx. So we're on the West Side Highway, and I call the Bronx Botanical Gardens, and I go, hi, I'm in a school bus full of children on the West Side Highway. I need to know how to get to you. And the lady says, you can't take a school bus on the West Side Highway. That's illegal. And I say this is true story. I say this to the parent next to me, and she goes, yeah, this is not okay. This is really bad.
Oh,
and it occurs to me, I've never seen any large vehicle on the West Side Highway.
Now that you mention it.
And when it gets up into the Bronx, it's twisty and turny, and it's not okay. And you're forced into a high speed of traffic because it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so we go under an underpass, and I swear to God, we scrape the top of the bus. The whole bus goes grrrr and shakes. And I swear to God, the bus driver yells, "Oh, shh,"
Yeah.
Oh crap!
What you yell when that happens?
Yeah. And then the rest of the underpasses, he kind of ducks his own head down, really, like he kind of crouches.
Aims for the arch in the middle. It's a little higher.
But we got up there, and nobody. I brought waters. I asked the teacher, like, should I get a bunch of bottles of water? And she's like, I guess. And I thought, well, that's because I'm like over parenting. No, it's because she just didn't care if people drank water.
Unbelievable.
And nobody brought sunblock. A lot of kids died. It was really, it really was like.
That just sounds like abuse. Yeah, what the hell?
It was a disaster. But you know what? The kids, we packed these kids, these heated, it was like summertime, these sweltering hot kids, unfed, into a little tiny classroom. They take you to these beautiful places, and then pack you into a classroom, and you have to listen to somebody.
Oh, God.
But the woman showed them how a seed becomes a plant.
Yeah.
Totally riveted audience.
Oh, really?
Totally fascinated.
She was killing.
Yeah, she was killing. I learned a lot.
Yeah, about how plants grow.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that an apple
boring.
is food for the seeds inside of it. I thought it.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either, nor do I care now that I do. I hate apples even more now.
But I used to like having my mommy go on there because I was such a mommy's boy, crybaby, little wimpy girl. I was. And I used to make her dress up like a whore.
What?
Like, I really used to make her dress up like a whore.
What do you mean you made her dress up?
She worked in, like, nightclubs. She was a go-go dancer and stuff like that. I'd go, like, could you wear those the knee-high boots and the red
So
patent
weird.
leather mini skirt? And could you put your hair in pigtails? And all the, like, kids would be like, your mom is so pretty. and I felt like good. Like, I felt all good. And we went to go see You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown at Radio City Music Hall. And Mom was a field mother, and she wakes up that morning. We're supposed to leave. And she goes, Anthony, I'm so sick. I'm so sorry. I can't go. I start crying. And she's like, all right, I'll do something. So she's swigging Pepto-Bismol. She was hung over to the point where she's puking. She got a horrible hangover. Now she's got to get on some diesel-y bus, dressed like a slut.
With her daughter's son.
Yeah, with her crying daughter, son, her boy girls. So when she said she couldn't make it, I was just.
Well, most people end up screwed up because they were molested by their parents, but you're screwed up because you molested your
I
parents.
was trying to molest my parents.
It's totally opposite.
Yeah, I was trying to molest my mom at the time, I guess.
Wow.
Dressing her up.
I started going to the trips with my kid because the teacher asked me to, because they'd go to a show, and my daughter can't take a show. She gets really upset.
Why?
At drama. She gets
Really?
really upset.
Where does that come from, you think?
I don't know. She takes things really to heart. She's very sensitive. So
How old?
She's 7 now. But it's
takes
been like
it-
that her whole life. Like when she was 3, I showed her a Charlie Chaplin movie, Hard Times. And she loved watching him fall down. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then there's this scene where him and this other, he's poor in the movie.
Violin music starts.
Yeah, it's really sad. And him and this poor girl.
It's not like he had an expressive face.
No. He and this poor girl break into a department store and start playing husband and wife in the department store. And she says, "Are they married?" And I'm like, "Well, they're pretending they're married." She thinks that's so cool. And then the cops come and they arrest him.
Oh, no.
And she just starts bawling. She was so sad.
I find that hysterical. Kids are stupid.
No, she's so sad for their lives being broken up. He's going to jail. And also, she's also sad for America in the Depression. Like, that's the...
Wow.
Like, she just felt all of that.
That kid's too perceptive.
Yeah, she knows too many things.
Maybe she said her dad didn't bring home some cartoons and instead indulging his own whimsy with a Chaplin film.
That's absolutely right, Jim. The teacher asked me to go to trips because she would always scream and run out of the room when stuff happened in these shows.
People are saying
so
she
I come along.
cried less than me, though.
Yeah. Well, I used to try to talk her out. Like, we went to a show once with these little puppets, and it was a moment that was really a little over the top. Like, they overdid it. Some puppet goes, "Those look like rubies." "Oh, no, it's a dragon's eyes!" And the puppet starts screaming and gets eaten. And my daughter, the scream that she let out with her, like, hands over her ears...
Oh, no.
Is something I'll never forget. I'll never forget
Jesus.
it. It is the most frightening sound it was the sound of somebody being killed.
Really?
And so I dragged her out. And
the crap out
we're
of the guy.
outside. I just start hitting her. I don't know. I just wasn't thinking. I was just hitting.
Who thought it was okay that a kid could see something like that?
I don't know. I mean, the other kids are like bored because they play, PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they kill hookers on their TV all day.
So they can handle something like that.
Dragon, right.
Blue's a good father.
I'm all right.
So wait, what happened?
Oh, so I took her outside, and I feel like I felt at the time that my job as a father is to break her of these fears. And I'm saying, look, if you're going to be able to enjoy some things, this isn't fear. This is about being thrilled. And she goes, but she argued forcibly and just said, "No, I don't like being scared. When somebody scares me, I get mad. I don't like it. I don't like when they do something scary without telling you it's going to be scary. And I don't see why anybody would want to feel that way." Like, she made such a case that I was
Right
like,
in the middle of her
I got to
doing that,
respect this, you
You
know?
should have just went, "Boo-boo!"
Don't look behind you.
All right, listen, we got to take a quick break. Louis
God,
C.K.
that's something. What a perceptive kid, though.
Yeah, she's really smart.
But I'm really glad you're here. This is a sizable crowd. This is a big place. There's about 2,500 people here. And that's a lot of people. That's enough people to be like a sample of the population. 2,500 people is enough people that you're all going to experience a lot. There's enough people here to say that within 2 months, at least one of you will die. I'm just saying, I think it's probably accurate to say that out of any random group of 2,500 people, not all of you are going to make it to Christmas. Unfortunately, there's going to be at least one of you here tonight is going to ruin your family's Christmas by dying a shitty death. And I don't know who it is, I'm sorry. I don't know, your death is whatever. Some people, they want you to do things when they die with their, like, I want you to take my ashes and sprinkle. Fuck you, I'm not doing none of that shit. You're dead, I'm not gonna run errands for you after you're dead. You don't matter anymore. Some people try to do something, noble with their bodies. They try to have their bodies have some use after they're dead, which I think is a good thought. You're only borrowing your body. You're only borrowing everything. If your body's worth anything when you're done with it, you should pass it on. That's something I really believe. I mean, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. Ew, it's mine. I have a lot of beliefs, and I live by none of them. That's just the way I am. They're just my beliefs. I just like believing them. I like that part. They're my little believies. They make me feel good about who I am. But if they get in the way of a thing I want, or I want to jack off or something, I fucking do that. But some people take their body. My grandmother, she, just for the layman, my grandmother, she gave her body to a medical school, so for it to just be examined and dissected, which is a good thought for that. But they're her survivors, or her family. That was a person. That was my grandmother. She used to wear glasses and say things. And now she's just shaved head on a metal table with a hungover medical student trying to dig out her pancreas, and he gets an F. Imagine being the body where the kid got an F on you. The teacher's like, no, you idiot. And he writes F on her tit with a Sharpie and just throws her down a chute on a pile of F body. So, I don't care about her. Shut up, idiot. Just shut your fucking mouth. Did you hear me before? Okay, so what am I going to do with my body? I'm going to die, and I got to tell people what to do with my remains. And I have an idea for something to do with my body, or for other people to do with it, that will do good in the world. And it doesn't exist yet as like an institution, but I'm going to create it, starting with my body. And what it is, it's a place where you can go and be with a dead body, and you just do whatever you want. And the point of this is that there are people out there who have sexual compulsions and they can't control them, and so they go and they bother alive people. And this, you get it out of your system. This is the deal. You go in the room, there's nobody else with you, you got 90 minutes, you just do whatever you want. Whatever it is. Shit in my mouth, you want to stick my toe in your pussy, piss on my face, whatever is the thing you got to do. Jack off with the cartilage of my ear, whatever is your heart's desire. I want to be the Willy Wonka for perverts. You can come on my back and pretend that I'm your father. I am dead, I don't mind.
40-year-old guys are not good specimens either. We're not. Like, I have a friend who has a lot of young girlfriends. He always goes, he goes a little they're too young, and it's not okay. He brings them around, and you're like, dude, don't. Like, literally point at her face and go, don't fuck her. That's awful. Because And she's like, it's just bad, you know? But so he was going to have sex with her one night, and he said he wanted to go all night. Like, he wanted to really last a long time. So he said, I'm going to drink a lot of milk so I can have a lot of sex. I was like, who told you that mattered? And he goes, well, because you can come more if you drink milk. This guy actually thinks that, like, you run out of cum, but if you drink milk, your body goes like, oh, dude, that's perfect. Just send that right through. That's fine. Nobody will know the difference. Just go ahead and send it through. Run out of cum in a pinch, milk is fine. It doesn't, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and send it right through. Spray it all over his cat's face, whatever he was doing. What? I'll come on my cat's face. If she's watching, she's gonna get a face full of cum. She knows that by now. She knows. It's her fault now. Come on my cat's face once, shame on me. I don't have a cat. I don't have a cat. I never had one. I mean, I would come on a cat's face. I'm not trying to take that back. I just don't happen to have a cat. I have a dog, and I had a dog when I was a teenager, and yeah, I did once. I made my dog lick cottage cheese off my balls, which is something you now can't unknow. You just know it. I did this. And I only hesitated to start the sentence only because I wasn't sure whether to say that I let my dog lick cottage cheese off my balls or that I made him lick cottage cheese. And really, considering how much dogs love cheese, I think I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. I think that's probably the fairest way to put it. I remember it so clearly. And I remember the look on the dog's face. He was like, oh, fuck, dude, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this to us? Just put it on a plate. Why do I have to lick it off your goddamn balls? All right, come on, fine, let's do it. I'm doing it. I don't care. Look, you gotta live with this. I'll be dead in 2 years. I'm a dog. This is your problem. Hey, this is interesting. The other day, a guy told me to suck a bag of dicks. That was interesting. I never heard that before. Total stranger told me to suck a bag of dicks. A whole bag of them. He was angry. He didn't just, suck a bag of dicks like a greeting. Oh, suck a bag of dicks to you too, sir. Thank you very much. Yes. It's a lovely day for sucking several bags of dicks. No, what happened was I cut him off in traffic. It was just one of those things where I had to get in and no one was in my car to judge me and I just fucking, I just decided he's not me, so I don't care what happens to him and I just cut him off. It's just a shitty thing to do. And it was bad because he was coming fast because he didn't imagine in a million years someone could be that big of an asshole. And so when I did it, he had to slam on his brakes and his dog went poof in the windshield. It was really very bad. Very bad. And the worst part is when you cut people off, they don't vanish. They're behind you now. So I'm looking back and he's like, fuck us! He's so mad! And he keeps trying to get next to me because he just wants to see my fucking face. He's like, I gotta see this cocksucker now. I gotta see the fucking face of the piece of shit that just did that to me. And I keep cutting him off because I don't want him to see. I'm ashamed of what I did. Nope, you don't. Finally, we get to a red light, and I gotta face him. Only because there's a car in front of me, otherwise I would have fucking blown right through there. But there he is, just fucking furious. And I'm like, I know, it was awful. I shouldn't have done it. I'm not mad. I was wrong. Why would I be mad? And he's like, fuck you! And then he starts going like this because he wants me to roll my window down. Like, I'm supposed to take part in my own abuse during this argument. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to miss this. What do you have to say about me, yes? How rude of me to shut out your anger with my... So I did. I rolled it down. I'm interested. And he goes, hey, asshole. And I'm like, yeah. He says, suck a bag of dicks. Then he drove away. And I was kind of sad that he drove away because I had a lot of questions. That concept of sucking a bag of dicks, it's just weird. Like, first of all, when you picture a bag of dicks, what do you see when you picture a bag of dicks? Is it like a plastic bag and they're all mushed in together like chicken parts and with a date written on it with Sharpie, keep it in the freezer? Or is it like a paper bag and they're sticking out like baguettes, kind of like you went shopping? Bringing home a bag of dicks for the kids? Here you go, Susie, take a blue one, you know, like a little... I don't know, they were hanging in a window somewhere, give me 2 of those. And how do you suck a bag of dicks? What does he want me to do? Does he want me to take a bag of dicks and suck it? Like suck the side of the bag? Or does he want me to open the bag and suck each dick individually and throw the used ones in a bowl like edamame shells? Like that? Do I have to make them all come? You know, like how... You can't answer a kid's question. They don't accept any answer. A kid never goes, oh, thanks, I get it. They fucking never say that. They just keep coming. More questions. Why? Till you don't even know who the fuck you are anymore at the end of the conversation. It's an insane deconstruction. It's amazing. This is my daughter the other day. She's like, Papa, why can't we go outside? Well, because it's raining. Why? Well, water's coming out of the sky. Why? Because it was in a cloud. Why? Well, clouds form when there's vapor. Why? I don't know. I don't know any more things. Those are all the things I know. Why? Because I'm stupid, okay? I'm stupid. Why? Well, because I didn't pay attention in school, okay? I went to school, but I didn't listen in class. Why? Because I was high all the time. I smoked too much pot. Why? Because my parents gave me no guidance. They didn't give a shit. Why? Because they fucked in a car and had me, and they resented me for taking their youth. Why? Because they had bad morals. They just had no compass. Why? Because they had shitty parents. It just keeps going like that. Why? Because fuck it, we're alone in the universe. Nobody gives a shit about us. I'm going to stop here to be polite to you for a second. But this goes on for hours and hours, and it gets so weird and abstract at the end. It's like, why? Well, because some things are and some things are not. Why? Well, because things that are not can't be. Why? Because then nothing wouldn't be. You can't have fucking nothing isn't. Everything is. Why? Because if nothing wasn't, there'd be fucking all kinds of shit that we don't like, giant ants with top hats dancing around. There's no room for all that shit. Why? I'll fuck you. Eat your french fries, you little shit. God damn it.
You know, you have bad thoughts. Hopefully you do good things. Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully they win. The good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the main thing. And then there's this thing. And I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this and this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course. But maybe.
I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe.
maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now, do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit. I mean, here's the bad news. You're gonna die. But here's the good news. When you get closer, you're gonna want to fucking die. It doesn't keep being good. You don't get to keep your life the way it is. Like, I'm 55. Both hands hurt. Both hands. Both my hips hurt. I'm lucky I have only one asshole. The whole fucking body hurts. When you're like in your 30s, you don't even think about it. You're like, because here's like, there's the beginning of your life, and there's the end. So like, you start like in your like here by your 30s, you just shuffle. You don't even aware of this movement. You're just shuffling along. Hey, this life is good. It's pretty cool. And then somewhere you're kind of aware that way down there, people are falling off the edge. Oh, I don't know. It's weird. And then you're not thinking. Then all of a sudden you're close, and you're oh fuck, I knew that guy. Oh my god. Holy shit. But there are signs that your time is coming to an end, you know? Like they don't make my shampoo anymore. They don't make it. I was like, why'd you stop? Like, you're the only one. Nobody fucking cares about you. And so I thought, I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna make my own shampoo. I'm gonna look it up online. I'm gonna look at the ingredients. I'm gonna make my own. And I found myself at a dinner telling a table full of people. So I decided to make my own shampoo. That's one of those moments where you tell yourself, just don't tell folks anything. You don't need to say it out loud. Just do what you're doing, die as soon as possible. Do I have a huge stain? Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. So what? Okay. No. Who's running? Oh, okay. I thought they were coming to bring me something. There's nothing you can do. You'd have to change my whole lifestyle for the rest of the show. It doesn't matter. I'm fat. I'm a fat guy. I'm fat. My pronouns are that fat fuck and... But here's the thing, I have body dysmorphia. I think I look good. I like this. I'm fine with it. I decided to stop exercising. That's what I decided this year. I'm just not doing it anymore. I made it to 55. If I stop exercising now, it just means I might make 75 instead of 78. It's not that big a fucking deal. I'm just not gonna do it. You know who inspired me was Trump. It's the one thing he said that I liked. I don't know if you ever heard this, but Trump believes, he just believes, nobody told him this, but he believes that you should move as little as possible because you have a finite amount of movements and then you stop. He believes that. He just went, yeah, that sounds right, and he just thought it up. And he's proving it to be true. I mean, it's fucking working. I don't like the new exercise either. I don't like the Peloton, you know. It's a bike you ride and there's a video that encourages you. And they have that mirror that you stand there and it teaches you exercises. Then they have that gun you put in your mouth and you fucking... No, you shouldn't kill yourself. That's why I think you should not kill yourself. That's my opinion. I don't know you. Ask somebody that knows you. But my general feeling is you shouldn't kill yourself. You know why? Because you're going to die anyway. You're going to die. What are you getting violent for? It's going to happen. I wish I was dead. You will be. Just sit there. You don't have to do anything. It really is the most effective argument against suicide, is that you're going to die either way. It also happens to be the best argument for suicide, which is awkward. Go ahead, you're going to die if you don't. Anyway.
It's not fun to be single at 41. I was married for 10 years. I'm divorced. I got 2 children. It's hard to start again after a marriage. It's hard to really look at somebody and go, hey, maybe something nice will happen. You just don't. I know too much about life to have any optimism. Because I know even if it's nice, it's going to lead to shit. I know that if you smile at somebody and they smile back, you've just decided that something shitty is going to happen. You might have a nice couple of dates, but then she'll stop calling you back, and that'll feel shitty. Or you'll date for a long time, and then she'll have sex with one of your friends, or you will with one of hers, and that'll be shitty. Or you'll get married, and it won't work out, and you'll get divorced and split your friends and money, and that's horrible. Or you'll meet the perfect person who you love infinitely, and you even argue well, and you grow together, and you have children, and then you get old together, and then she's gonna die. That's the best case scenario, is that you're gonna lose your best friend and then just walk home from D'Agostino's with heavy bags every day and wait for your turn to be nothing also. It's true, everything that makes you happy is going to end at some point, and nothing good ends well. It's like if you buy a puppy, you're bringing it home to your family saying, hey, look everyone, we're all gonna cry soon. Look at what I brought home. I brought home us crying in a few years. Here we go. Countdown to sorrow with a puppy. I remember I had a dog when I was a kid, and we had to put him to sleep because he had a tumor on his snout. And I remember I was home when the vet called and said, yeah, that's a malignant tumor that he's got to go. And I was like, well, can we fix it? And he goes, I'd have to just remove his whole snout. And then he'll just have this weird, round, furry head that doesn't look like a dog. And he can only eat with a straw, but you can't teach a dog to suck through a straw. So he'll just die of being stupid and having a round head. So I think you should just kill him. That's what I recommend. And I was like, okay, well, should we make an appointment for a few weeks from? And I swear to God, the guy goes, no, just bring him over. I'm not doing anything. I'll kill him right now. Like, just bring him over now. Why wait? I'm not busy. So I bring the dog to the vet, and I remember I'm holding the dog, and he sticks him full of a crazy amount of morphine, or the right amount if you're trying to kill a dog with it. And my dog dies. And then I left him there, because, I mean, it was arranged. I didn't, like, sneak out and leave my dog. We had no money. So I left and I asked the vet, I made the mistake of asking the vet, what are you going to do with my dog? And he said, he just goes in a mass grave. And I was like, what's that like? And he goes, it's just a big pile of dead dogs. So that night, I remember it was raining, and I had this nightmare that my dog woke up from the morphine and found himself in a pile of dead dogs and crawled out past the dead cat pile. And then he just walked, and it was thunder and lightning, and he was like one of those miraculous dogs that you read about in Reader's Digest, and he's like made his way home. And then he scratched on the door, and we opened the door, and there he is, and we go, there, he's here! Look, he's back! And then we realized we just gotta do it again. Gotta take it back. Gotta do it again. Still got a tumor on his snout. And the dog's like, are you shitting me right now? Can I spend the night? Jesus! So that's why it's hard to start dating, you know? That's why
Daddy, where are we going?
Taking you to your mom's house.
Yay!
Yeah.
Daddy, my shoes don't fit anymore.
Really? We just got you those.
I know.
Well, I'll get you some this week, or Mom will get you some this weekend.
I'm too tired to walk.
I know, but it's good for you.
Carry me.
Look, if I carry you, you won't get stronger. All right, come here. Okay. Come on.
Don't get to precede your shows with a soliloquy about the context.
I really am a naive 8-year-old.
You know what I mean? It's like every time I've edited, when you put together, but it's a good question, because when you put together shows, whenever I've edited something with someone else, one of the reasons I love doing my show is that I edit it myself, because when you edit with somebody and they're doing something that's not working, and you go, or when somebody shows me something of theirs, like if I have a friend who's doing a TV show and they show me a cut of it, and I go, this part was confusing, I'm not getting that, and then they explain it to me. No, see, this is from before when he did the thing, and that when I showed that, and I always say to them, well, as long as you're sitting next to every viewer giving that explanation, then go ahead and cut it that way. But people take stuff in this raw way. And most people don't really remember what they saw, and most people don't really they take in about 60% of what they're watching. So I think the context of Lucky Louie was that no show looked like it. No one knew why the fuck we would make a show that looks like that. And no one had ever seen a show that had a basic 3-camera family format where we would say cunt and fuck.
Laughs too, by the way. I went back and forth with the critic because the laughs were so booming that people thought, and this is one of the things I loved about you, is that you would never sweeten, and you did not, like a lot of times we would do a joke, it didn't work. Yeah. And you'd come to me and go, all right, what do you got? Let's try something else. And we would try something else. Sometimes that would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But you always left it. If the joke didn't get a 9, you left it as a 6. You didn't change. Those were real laughs.
Well, a show is supposed to have a ebb and flow. Any scene in any show should have a quiet part, a loud part, explosions, parts where you come back a little bit. It's like watching a baseball game. You're watching a game develop. You're watching the show, you're watching a guy's at-bat develop. You're watching him work the count to 3-1, whatever it is. And then you know, wow, there's potential now because there's 3-1. Oh, fuck, he missed. So now now it's even potential. You're watching this, and then when the guy hits a home run, it's a huge victory. But the way people make TV now is that they just want it to. I mean, what would it be like if every baseball game was just home runs?
Right.
Home runs. There no, not even outs. Just till everybody gets tired and goes home.
Yeah.
It's boring. So to me, a show should have this natural feeling to it, which our show did. A scene would develop. Some parts would work, some parts wouldn't. Some parts would explode, and it would mean something. Instead of this, every TV show now just has exactly the same laugh for every joke. It's unwatchable to me.
It's awful.
But it is what TV has been. And had been when Lucky Louie came on. What was that? 2005.
It might have been 6 or 5 or 6. Yeah, it might have been 5.
So I'm going to say there was a good 25 years of TV made exactly the same way. How the fuck do you beat that? I mean, how do you come on and not be seen as just a jarring, strange, and intelligent people didn't understand it. Intelligent people said there's a laugh track. I mean, we even had us saying, like when they did in Happy Days, when Happy Days came on, there was a credibility problem for sitcoms because of the laugh track. They had overused the laugh track. So Gary Marshall on the Three's, not Three's Company, Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, they had one of the characters say Happy Days was filmed before a live audience. They said it out loud. Yes. They didn't even print it. They said it out loud to make sure you knew that they're not fucking, that these laughs are real. We did the same thing. We felt like we needed to do this.
Pam would do it, right?
Pamela did it. I did it. Did you ever do one?
I never did one, no.
And then we did that, and people would, fucking professional TV reviewers would watch the show, hear that with their ears, and they would write canned laughter.
You know what's and this is what they didn't see, is a lot of times before the show, you'd go out and talk to the audience, and I remember you saying something to the effect of, don't laugh if you don't think it's funny. If you think it's funny, laugh. If you don't think it's funny, don't laugh. You kind of told the crowd it was okay just to relax and react naturally, which to me just makes people feel comfortable to laugh.
Well, I still say that when I film stand-up for my show now, because a lot of my show has me doing stand-up at the club, at the Comedy Cellar, I tell that audience, because every audience thinks they're an actor in the show. But they're supposed, because you go to like Letterman or TV tapings, and they tell you to really go nuts. And I don't think anything sickens me more than manufactured enthusiasm. People when, this guy, woo, and they all go fucking bananas.
It's hard.
You're left out of it. I don't think anyone. I mean, like I remember when I did Hilarious. Well, the first time I did it, produced my own special was Chewed Up, and the producers said, we want you to look like you're a rock star when you walk on that stage. And I said, why? I'm not. I'm a comedian, and I don't. When I'm watching something, I don't like Dane's special Vicious Circle when it comes out to and there's a stadium of people cheering him on. If you're a new viewer and you don't know who this guy is, you're like, well, I guess this is some party I missed, because I just want to watch a person go on and earn their credibility from scratch. So I tell the audiences at the Comedy Cellar, don't have it. You're here because I'm doing a show for you. You're the audience. So make me earn it. Don't laugh if it's not funny.
I also feel embarrassed when they're too hyped up and I walk out. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to live up to this. And I know you were put up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
When they do a special, I went bananas when I just used it, shooting for HBO. Yeah. And they were having, we were doing Down and Dirty, and they were having the audiences laugh. Give us a laugh. And the crowd laughs.
That's the worst thing in the world. And I've had fights with directors about that they want to get laughs for editing purposes. If you can't edit a concert without those extra laughs, you're a fucking moron. It's hard. It's a challenge. Like, I've had moments where you're trying to make an edit in a special that's got a hiccup in it, and you go find a piece of a laugh somewhere else to use, or a piece of applause, and it never ends up working anyway. You end up just doing another cut. But when they do that to an audience, they make an audience feel like assholes, and they lose a lot of your credibility before you come out.
Because then they then the reaction becomes almost like when someone pokes you, you go, ow! It's almost like, they understand the rhythm of the punchline.
Yes.
And it's not fucking natural.
They're not listening anymore.
It's so encouraging to see that, because it's like, you didn't clean up, you didn't fucking change who you are, you're still the same fucking despicable wretch, and it's like, you're doing it, I was like, your way, but you're doing what you want to do, and it's fucking working, man. And it's like, what inside of you gives you the fucking ability to do that and not just go, fuck this, I'm humiliated, I can't do it.
Well, it's every failure I've ever had, because I have failed hard, and I've been the center of negative attention, at least twice, with Pootie Tang and Lucky Louie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that enjoyed trashing that show.
Yeah, they did, right? It was fucking irritating.
And there was people that attacked it unnecessarily. I remember after we were on the air for 8 months, we had weathered this storm. There was this feeling like we had our bad reviews, we had our good reviews, and with that information, the American public is deciding to watch the show. We're growing. And then a reviewer here in New York, David Abancooley,
scumbag.
He didn't review the show. The Daily News, his paper, had reviewed it with another reviewer who said positive things about it. He didn't write a review and analyzing the show, which I think is what critical writing is supposed to be, analysis of art. I think it's a legitimate field to be an expert in television, watch TV shows, and then write an analysis. When your critics are supposed to do this, write what the show is like, describe it from a professional point of view. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just a viewer, but this is what this show is. I don't think it works because of these reasons. Here's the historical context of it. It's much like this show, much like this other. Here's what I think they're trying to do. Here's where I think they fail.
Right.
But he didn't do that. He wrote one of these. Reviewers believe that they should be affecting how TV's made, and they think they should, they like that power. So he wrote an article that the gist of it was HBO needs to cancel Lucky Louie, even though it only has 4 episodes left. And even though HBO doesn't need to cancel shows because they don't sell advertising, if you have a show that's ratings are poor, the advertisers are losing money, so you have to cancel it before it's finished. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
HBO is a subscription service,
right,
and it doesn't have a reason to cancel. By canceling a show, and our ratings were increasing. So David Bianculli wrote they should cancel the show to make a statement that they know the show is a mistake, and he put people's fucking jobs on the line. He doesn't. You know what I mean? If you don't like a show, that's one thing. And if you write and trumpet your hatred for a show, you're welcome to do it. But there are people who like it, and there are people who are making it, and it's their life. Like, it was just, to me, it was like a way overstepping. Like, who the fuck needs to read this?
Didn't he get? He's not with the Daily News
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he was fired, or
might be a guy who I'd read something else of his that I would, but he took this.
No, I detest him. I hope he has a lump somewhere.
Reason to fucking write that, and I wrote him an email telling him that I objected and that I erased it. I've done that a lot. I've written a lot of angry emails and erased them just as a way to get it out. But anyway, you asked me something a long time ago. The point is, I've been the center of attention, of negative attention, a couple of times. I've had my worst nightmare come true, and I survived it. It didn't hurt me as badly as I thought it would, and indeed, I gained every time, gained hugely, and I wouldn't trade those bad experiences for anything. So what that tells me is when I start trying something, the bad version of it, I could take it. Like, I have no fear because my worst fears have been realized, and it wasn't so bad. It would be like if you started boxing and you're like, I'm afraid to get punched in the face. Anybody is. And your first few times you get punched in the face, you're like, I don't hate this.
Right.
And I'm good at the boxing.
And I'm not dead.
I'm not dead. I don't hate it. And I'm succeeding sometimes. Why? This is what I'm going to do. Do you know what I mean?
And you have complete control here.
Oh, at FX is totally unbridled control. But it comes with good. I mean, it comes with credibility. I've had failures, but I've turned shit out. And by the way, the 2 failures that I've had have both, in my view, been vindicated by people watching. People still watch. Like,
must be awful to be other kinds of stuff. You know, I'm glad I'm this. This is a pretty good deal when you consider the alternatives. Anything else? Any other kind of thing, you're in the food chain. You're in the food. We are out of the food chain. I don't know if we fully appreciate the fact that we got out of the food chain. That is a massive upgrade. Because for every other living thing, life ends by being eaten. That's how all life ends, is every single life except human life. Every life ends like this. Ah! 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 We're the only ones that get to just die old in a bed. Just, I love you. Bye. mean, imagine if we were still in the food chain on top of everything else. Imagine if we were in the food chain. It would just be another thing you gotta deal with. You're already having a bad day. You wake up in the morning, you're making breakfast, you burn your toast, and it's too late to try again. And your kid comes in and says, "Bleh," and you're like, fine. And it's just, why? You get a thing in the mail that says that your phone's different and your mortgage is another company now. What? I don't get it. Then you're walking to work like, why do I even bother? Oh, shit. God damn it. There's always fucking cheetahs at the train station. Stop it. Do you think that sharks would be embarrassed if they knew that we could all see their fins sticking out of the top of the water? I think they'd be bummed, because I don't think sharks are aware of that at all. I think sharks think they're slick. They swim around like, hey, nobody has any idea who's down here. And we're all up here like, there's totally a shark right there. It wouldn't be fun being a predator either. If you're a predator, imagine if every time you're hungry, you gotta chase a guy who's running for his life. You gotta, come on, dude, shit, get over here. And just hold him down and bite his neck till he shuts the fuck up for a minute. So you can just sit there and eat his stomach before you go to work. That would really suck. That's why animals just, they go, let's do this together, man. You chase the parents away, I'm gonna eat the kid, and you circle back. That's why they do it like that. Fuck it, I'm eating babies. This is bullshit.
For more than 100 years. In most cases, they were a history lesson, like when the ladybugs infested the fields of England. Hence the song, Ladybug, Ladybug, Fly Away Home. So the big question now is, are the words in these rhymes appropriate for today's generation of kids and parents?
Ew.
Oh, that's the big question.
We gotta attack everything.
The big question is, why does America stink?
Yeah, that would be the bigger question.
I'm just so tired of stuff like that.
No kidding. Nicole in New York.
How about London bridges falling down, but at least they're not jumping off it like they are the Golden Gate? Huh? That's the updated version for today's kids. Run with that. Guy, production staff, go.
Do it. My daughter, kids are supposed to not. My daughter and I were eating lamb chops one day, and she said, she's 3 years old at the time, and she said, where are we eating? And I said, lamb chops. And she'd been to a farm recently and petted a lamb. So she said, are there little lambs inside of this? And I said, no. Like, I'd never made the connection with her that she eats animals.
What a stupid question.
Yeah, I know.
Little lambs inside. Of course there aren't.
Yeah.
You dope.
So I go, no, and she says, well, are these pieces of a lamb?
Ah, now she's catching on.
And I go, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Just told her yes. So we're eating a lamb like the one I petted? And I said, yeah. And she says, I like lamb chops.
Oh.
She's like Hannibal Lecter. No, she likes eating animals.
There you go.
She likes eating animals. She's full aware that she,
top of the food chain.
She loves ducks and she loves eating ducks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did the lamb make you perform fellatio? Did he sodomize you? No.
He was a good lamb.
Hey, let's go to Nicole. She's got something pretty good.
Hi. Yeah, I took my 3-year-old brother to the library, and the librarian pointed me over to this section. I guess he thought I was like some unwed teenage mother. So there's like, why you had sex when you were 10, and there's a book about Uncle Willie's pickles, and how to deal with molestation, and why is Daddy in a casket?
All right, wait a minute.
And they have
hold on.
Why is Daddy
I have an
in a
assignment.
Yes.
I have to read Uncle Willie's pickles.
Yeah. Could someone go out and get Uncle Willie's pickles and get it over to XM for the second half of the show today?
Why is Daddy in a casket? Sounds awesome.
Yeah, maybe Daddy's a bad driver. Or maybe Daddy meant... go ahead.
Oh, Nicole, it's going to be much more exciting here. Go ahead, Nicole.
This whole section is like in the middle of the children's playroom, like pictures of really tickling kids, like awful, awful books.
You know, I want you to have a sandwich just full of Uncle Willie's pickles.
The thing that bothers me is that people want to protect their kids from reality, but then they want to sell them stuff. Like that's what's acceptable is like Fox Kids, where they're selling them toys and cereal with loud noise and MSG and sugar. Like, nobody cares about that. That's fine. But don't mention to them that things do die and that it's okay that things die, especially if it's your stupid father.
Well, the daddy in the casket thing does seem a little morbid. Like, how could that possibly play out?
Maybe this,
why is daddy in the casket? Well, he's going to be in it till bugs eat his face.
Yeah.
Daddy borrowed money from a man, and Daddy couldn't pay him back. Maybe it's a lesson. Maybe Daddy mingled with someone of a race that he shouldn't have. Here.
For the Brady kids, why is Daddy in such a little casket?
Why is Daddy face down in a casket with a permanent arch in his hips? Well, you know, that man, he played on TV.
Why is Daddy in a closed casket? Well, because his face is pulp. God. Because we couldn't reconstruct his...
No.
Lady.
I wouldn't play that. Do you think there's room in our society for these old-time classics?
No, I don't think so. The kids today are smart, and they can pick up on things like that.
Well, you know what? 100 years, one complaint. That's not too bad. Okay? All right? That's a good track record.
That's true.
Good point, Rich. Good point. Helium Comedy Club all weekend for Rich Voss.
And it could tie in, actually. We'll have to just change the update. How about immigrants fly away home? Huh? Give me those ribs, you.
Well, let's see what a child psychologist has to say about this issue.
There's nothing inherently wrong unless you want to do away with Snow White, Hansel and Gretel.
But child psychologist Dr. Victoria Beach doesn't understand what all the fuss is about. After all, she says, children have been listening to these nursery rhymes for more than 100 years.
Casey at the Bat was in 1888, and it was published in the newspaper. Very famous poem. Way over the head of toddlers.
Kill him! Kill the umpire!
Quite frankly, if you don't want your children to hear "kill the umpire," you should never let them watch a baseball game.
And her advice to parents is simple.
Children will repeat what they hear. So if you don't want them repeating it, don't play it.
So for mom and dad, you heard the doc. The bottom line is pretty clear. Just use your discretion when it comes to your kids if you don't like what you hear.
Yeah, just let them listen to soulless Barney and Elmo.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Teach them nothing about anything and...
Or
milk toast.
They'll chase him across the street in Crown Heights with him.
What is wrong with him? Hey, we're going to find that book for Jimmy?
Oh, my God. Uncle Willie's pickles. It's all I want.
Where's
I'm
that?
obsessed with them.
We got to find that.
Uncle Willie's
pickles does he have?
I know, exactly.
He's got a bunch of pickles.
Well, I guess Uncle Lee had a lot of friends who also had pickles.
We're going to do the walkover in a couple minutes here, so if you got that book, come find us. We'll let you check out the second half of the show.
Let's throw...
Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you. That is very okay. That's very nice. I hope somebody does that for you someday. It's a very nice thing. I hope you had a good day. That's about all I could do about it is hope. I had a pretty good day. I went out shopping for some things I needed, and now I don't need them because I got them. I got a white noise machine. Do you know what those are, a white noise machine? That's a machine that helps white people sleep at night. Because you shouldn't be able to. I'm hungry. I'm a little hungry. I mean, I feel hungry. I think that's what... Americans shouldn't say, I'm hungry. They should say, I feel hungry. If you ate today, you shouldn't say, I'm hungry. Hunger's a real thing. I don't have third world hunger. I have first world hunger. I would like a donut. Some people say I'm starving. That's offensive. I am starving. I haven't eaten since 2. I'm starving. Don't say that. Because some people are starving, and they don't say it. You never see a little kid in Africa with his ribs showing. He's like, I am starving right now.
I'm like literally starving to death. It's like annoying. I have 2 kids. I went to my daughter's play the other day. I don't know if you have kids, but there is no more joyful feeling in the human experience than when a child's play is over. It's just, nothing feels that good when you can say, I am not watching that any longer. Every second my daughter's on stage, I can't breathe because I'm so proud of her, but this is a bad show. They worked really hard and it didn't make it good. I'm glad I'm raising girls though, because boys are. I don't like boys. I don't like. That's probably a good thing to say. I don't like boys. I don't think women are better than men, but I do think that men are worse than women. You know, we just have. Like, I was talking to my friend, and he said his girlfriend's mad at him. I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, I guess I said something, and then she got her feelings hurt." Such a weird way to phrase it. She got her feelings hurt. I said something and then could you more remove yourself from responsibility? She got her feelings hurt. It's like saying, yeah, I shot this guy in the face and then I guess he got himself murdered. I just he leaned into it. I didn't know. I've never been murdered. I'm going to die someday. I accept that. I don't know what happens afterwards. Some people say you go to heaven. I'm totally going to heaven. I'm going to heaven. By the way, this is the only voice I know how to do. I'm totally going to heaven. It's the only voice I have. I can't do impressions. Like this is my impression of the president. I'm the first black president. I'm literally the first black president. Do you guys think there's a heaven? If you believe you're going to heaven, clap if you think you're going to heaven. You think you're going to heaven?
Yes.
Really? How old are you?
21.
21, and you're a lock for heaven already. You already got it. Been a grown-up for 3 years. You couldn't possibly make a mistake. Well, good luck. Personally, I don't think there's a heaven. I think maybe there's a God, but there's no heaven. I think that's the best news you're going to get. You die, and you're like, hey, God. And he's like, yep. And you're like, where's heaven? And he's like, I don't know who's telling people that. But I'm supposed to make a universe and then another whole amazing place for afterwards? You guys are greedy dicks down there. Well, where do I go? Just stand in this room with me now. I don't like it. Tell me about it. I've been here since 1983. Or whenever. I don't know when God started, but... religious. I don't know if there's a God. That's all I can say, honestly, is I don't know. Some people think that they know that there isn't. That's a weird thing to think you can know. Yeah, there's no God. Are you sure? Yeah, no, there's no God. How do you know? Because I didn't see him. There's a vast universe you can see for about 100 yards when there's not a building in the way. How could you possibly... Did you look everywhere? Did you look in the downstairs bathroom? Where have you looked so far? No, I didn't see him yet. I haven't seen 12 Years a Slave yet. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm waiting until it comes on cable. I think if there is a God, I don't know if it's the one in the Bible, because that's a weird story. He's our Father, and we're his children. That's it. Our Father who art in heaven. Where's our mother? What happened to our mom? What did he do to our mom? Something happened. Somewhere in heaven there's a porch with a dead lady under it, and I want this story. Somebody's got to check the trunk of God's car for bleach and rope and fibers. Well, how can we not have a mother? At least maybe God's divorced. Maybe he has an ex-wife. God's a single dad, and he's raising us alone, and we're praying like, and he's like, I'm trying, it's just me up here. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe your life is your time. This is our weekend with Dad. That's what life is your weekend. And then when you die, you go to Mom's house. It makes sense that God would be a woman, doesn't it? Because you're raised by your mom. I think the reason we made God a man in our cultures is because we want to make sense of the fact that men are in charge. Because otherwise it doesn't really make any sense. Because women, you start with a woman. It's the thing people like to ask, like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Of course it's the egg. Because you can't just make a chicken. You can't just go chicken. You got to start with an egg and grow chicken. And then people say, oh, well, where did the egg come from? From a chicken, you idiot. Women birthed us, women raised us, so why aren't they running things? I think I know why. I think it's because millions of years ago, women were in charge, and they were mean, they were horrible. They made us walk around naked, and they'd laugh at you, and they'd flick your penis when you walk by. They were awful. But what could you do? It's your mom and her friends. Like, what could you possibly do about it? And then one guy punched his mom, and we were like, we can hit them! And then we did the whole thing. But that's why men are mean to women today, because we're terrified of them. That's why we didn't give women the vote till 1920. Women didn't get the vote in this country. That means American democracy is 94 years old. There are 3 people in my building older than American democracy. That's how women have had a rough time. It was so okay to beat your wife until so recently that today we have a kind of shirt named after it. There's a piece of clothing in our culture affectionately nicknamed after beating the crap out of your wife. And for some reason, this is offensive to nobody. I saw a woman on Good Morning America or something. She's like, I was walking around my house, and a wife beater. I'm like, stop saying it like it's not horrible. I'm just wearing a wife beater and child murder shorts, and I like, stop it. We have a great show. Sam Smith is here. So stick around. We'll be right back.
I'm curious about God. I'm curious about his life. I'm curious about God's existence. What's that like to be God? You know, we don't know anything about him. I think one reason people don't believe in him because we don't have a sense of God, because it doesn't say anything anymore. He used to talk all the time. He used to go up to people on the street. Hey, tell everybody I said that. Writing on the rocks. Look at that! Do it! And it was confused. Everybody's like, oh, okay, trying to figure it out. And then for 2,000 years, he just, nothing, says nothing. And everybody's fighting. He could clear a lot of shit up with a 5-minute press conference. If God spoke for 5 minutes, he'd solve a lot of problems. He'd just show up, all right, everybody, yeah, I'm the Lord, okay. Real quick. First of all, Mormons just, no. What is that? Just go home. Also, Jews with the little things, what the fuck, I don't know. Put a hat on or don't, nobody gives a shit. This is weird, I hate these. I hate them. I send everybody with one of those to hell every day. I do, it's just my thing, just so you know. Do what you want, but that's where you're going. Now you know. Also, I don't care who you fuck. I don't care. It never mattered. It was Adam and Eve and Steve. They were all fucking each other. I was jerking off to it. It was a great time. So it's not an issue for me. I don't know why it is for you. Have fun and use all the holes. That's what I say. Also, you're supposed to fuck the animals. That's why I made them. Why are you not fucking the animals? There's only like 30,000 of you fucking the animals. What are the rest of you? You're eating them? That's disgusting. How could you eat a perfectly fuckable pig? I'm so sick of being broke. I'm broke. I'm just always keep digging this hole. And most people are broke too. That's the thing. This country's just, everybody's broke. That's why I don't like George Bush, but I didn't like Kerry either, because they're fucking both rich and they don't get it. They don't know what it's like to be poor. Like, poor people know what it's like to be rich. They know exactly what it's like because they fantasize about it constantly. Every poor person has their whole rich life all planned out. Every detail. I'm going to have a house made of chocolate, and people are going to blow me as I walk in each room. They're going to be waiting. I'm going to wipe my ass with live rabbits and throw them out the window. Got it all worked out. But rich people don't fantasize about being poor. Why the fuck would they do that? I'll have to take the bus everywhere. Yeah!